You, come over here and listen to the Triforce Podcast with me, Period Flags, Sips,
Hi.
Lewis.
Hi.
Let's get down to business, gentlemen.
Nailed
Why
it.
did you delay so much on your hi, Sips?
Because I thought maybe you'd cut out.
We were talking about this before it started, and I was saying that I'm the type of person who can't listen to audiobooks and stuff because I zone out. And actually, I zoned out while you were talking.
I'm amazed you didn't black out.
Well, I didn't know. Not this time. So yeah. Well, a bunch of people posted stuff about that after last week's one. Apparently, you do black out. Like it's like an oxygen thing. Apparently,
that sounds like bullshit.
No, falling out of a plane.
Yeah. If you fall out of a plane, you'll like black out. If you fall off a building, you'll like black out and stuff. Yeah.
Is it a thing because you can't? Is it to do with like the pressure on your body that you can't? It's difficult to breathe.
I think so, something like that, maybe. I mean,
obviously at high altitude, I suppose there's not a lot of oxygen, so you might be like, and then black out. Hyperventilation.
You
causes
hyperventilate,
that,
yeah.
I'm amazed there wasn't a comment saying, actually, the most efficient way to survive a bear attack is to black out. Like there'd be a ton of people with evidence.
Right,
and
there was a big post with like a bunch of equations and stuff, but I didn't read it because I saw math and instantly I felt sick. So.
That was about the speed of a person falling.
Right.
When I said you gained 10 miles an hour for every 10 meters you fell, but it's wrong.
As somebody who regularly auto-asphyxiates myself, I know exactly how to knock somebody out and give myself a blackout. And you're not doing the same thing as I do. Which is a silk
Furthermore,
rope.
I'm a southern gentleman in a traditional lemonade drinking style.
The real dream here for me is for somebody to black out but still be able to suck my dick at the same time. That's the aim. That's what I've been spending all my time trying to research recently to see if it's possible.
I have an Indiegogo page if anyone would like to contribute.
Oh shit! So what you guys been doing this week? Anything fun on your radars, or has it just been a quiet one? Have you guys been catching up?
I've been enjoying
what you
the
been up to?
fruits of Twitch Prime, which has brought a ton of new viewers and, oddly enough, new subs. To my channel.
There's
It's been
we got a
fantastic.
mail about that though. There's a mail from Twitch about that, saying that Twitch Prime subs, the way that they're reporting them on Twitch as revenue. Some people are signing up in countries because they want to get these promotions and stuff. So they're signing up in countries that don't offer it. They're saying like, oh, I live in Lithuania, but my postcode is something in London or whatever. And those people are being reported as revenue when it comes to it and they actually do like the revenue and payouts and stuff for Twitch, those people won't count, apparently.
Well, honestly,
you won't get paid for them. So it probably seems a lot better than maybe it actually is.
I just want the number for the extra emotes.
Oh, of course, yeah.
If you
Well,
get
in that
to
case,
500,
it counts.
I made it to 500 last night. I get the extra emotes. That is what I really care about. Because honestly,
that's pretty sweet, man.
You know, I've had these emotes a long time. It's time for some fresh blood in the emote market.
No, and it's nice to just get like a bit of a. I think what they're doing is great, actually. It feels fresh. It just feels like it's opened things up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, people that are streaming for hours and hours and doing it for a living and stuff, it'll give them, you know, more money and they can make more of a living off of it. And it's like
the auto hosting thing is genius.
It feels a lot.
That's great.
Yeah, it feels a lot more exciting than say YouTube Red, which is just like, what? I don't even know what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't
Twitch
know what
isn't
that
as big as YouTube, and they managed to do something that makes more sense and is more exciting than, you know, anything that YouTube has done in the past 4 or 5 years.
But they're just too big. It's like it's the same with all big companies. They become,
I guess so, yeah.
They become sluggish and immobile. They sort of stop innovating because they're already making so much and they don't want to rock the boat. Like, how many gigantic companies do you see come along with a really fresh, interesting? I mean, look at fucking Microsoft, right?
Oh no,
If I look at Skype and I look at the Windows that I've got now, it's not like Skype has barely changed in years, and they own that.
Yeah.
Windows has barely changed in years, and apart from annoying new features, and they own that. And it's like, how come Discord comes along, which is a fantastic program with a lot of innovative stuff in it for that kind of software.
Yeah.
Small company. They're nimble. They're like a little fox rather than a giant elephant.
Beluga whale.
Yeah.
I think that's an illusion, though. I think Discord has like literally $50 million of funding.
That's nothing, Lulu.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, compared to the gigantic monster of Microsoft, but it's not like it's a little friendly startup made by little pals.
Well, no,
it might have been at some point, but it's certainly very well supported, very well funded. And I assume it will eventually sell to someone like Microsoft because most of the world is owned by big chunks, big corporate chunks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Twitch Prime is something which is cool.
Yeah,
sure, and I think it's an interesting idea, and I like the idea of Hearthstone. They've got that Hearthstone hero. You get Tyrande with Twitch Prime, which means a lot of people will sign up just for that.
That's just the first thing, though. By the sound of it, it's going to be a regular thing. Like there's going to be
give, like,
regular
little
incentives, little goodies from games, and I think Twitch are quite smart because I think Twitch know their audience. They know that people are there to watch games. They understand the average mentality of a gamer, and people like to collect things in games. Like that's become very popular and stuff. I think the whole thing is just pretty clever. I think what they've done is pretty good, and it's given a big boost to like a lot of people that stream and stuff. So, and that's been good. So
yeah, it's basically just Twitch, Amazon throwing money at Twitch, and that's really what it is. It's like, hey, you guys, we're going to throw a shitload of money at you. A bunch of people already do Prime, but we're going to get new signups for this. You guys are going to see a chunk of this. We're going to just pay streamers. That's kind of what it is, and that's great. Yeah, that's fucking fantastic.
It'll grow
us.
Twitch even more because Twitch is already pretty big. There's a lot of people that stream, but it's not YouTube big, right? Like it's not like it still feels like it's not humongous, and there's still possibilities. Whereas like YouTube nowadays, I think if you were just starting creating content for YouTube now, it would feel like you were just climbing a fucking gigantic mountain, like it would take forever, sort of thing.
I'm a little bit surprised about it in a way. I mean, I'm surprised there aren't 100,000 viewed streamers on a regular basis, or even million viewed streamers on a regular basis.
Yeah, top streamers
it feels like you do sometimes see that with things. You do see that with tournaments and stuff. So when you see a League of Legends tournament or or Dota tournament, they do have 500,000 people live watching it.
CSGO tournament last year, I remember, had like 1 million
There's no
viewers.
breakthrough PewDiePie of Twitch
but
or whatever.
Think about this. When it comes to Twitch, what is one of the main reasons that people watch live sport? Gambling. It's gambling.
Yeah.
So
I guess so, yeah.
If you watch some guy stream, there's not gambling. If you watch TI whatever, if you watch CSGO whatever, there's going to be gambling. Gambling gets views. That's it.
Do you think that's the reason that people watch football?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Well, okay, I didn't realize this until now.
Look, take a team. Take Liverpool, Man U. They've got big fan bases, and there are definitely people that will watch those games no matter what. But to the casual viewer who doesn't really care, all right, if they're in the pub and it's on, they'll watch it. But if they're watching it at home, it's almost certainly because they've got money on it, on an accumulator, on online betting. Maybe they're on Betfair. People fucking love that shit. That's why those sites, those companies advertise around every football match you ever see on television is stacked with Ray Winston going, "Hold up, the live odds are coming on the screen now."
Blackburn versus Everton.
I think
who's going to score first?
What up? Bing bang bosh. Stick a fiver on it. What up? I'm Ray Winston and I've lost my money. Gambling. Kill me. Get off me.
Twitch is a weird one. Like I know what you mean about there's no real like breakout PewDiePie of Twitch, but there are big Twitch streamers. Like
I've heard
there's
one guy.
Established people. Like there's a couple of guys that just do variety stuff. They're huge, and then there's a couple of guys that will just stick to like a game that they're really well known for, and they're huge. Like these guys once they start streaming, they gobble up viewers. Like they'll just dominate the game that they're playing, and people will just gravitate towards like this highly viewed stream, or they like the personality or whatever. But it doesn't feel as big as PewDiePie, like because PewDiePie's numbers and everything on YouTube are ginormous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the other thing that Twitch has definitely maintained is this layer of amateurism, right? This layer of kind of everyone, even the biggest guys are still have no support, or they appear to have no support structure behind them.
It's
They're
live,
not in
isn't
an
it?
office
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
it.
that's the other thing. It's live, so you can't. The production value is going to be totally different because you can't cut things out. You know, it's a lot of it's going to be long-winded and stuff. But I think people mostly use Twitch to sort of keep them company in some ways. You know, it's something you have on in the background, like, you know, much like you would have the TV on in the background if you're not necessarily paying attention.
I think Twitch streamers have to work a lot harder. They have to produce a lot more content. They have to stream for a lot more longer hours, partly because I don't think people really like to watch VODs. They don't like to watch things that already happen.
They want to be there
Twitch.
live. They want to see the reaction of people in chat and stuff.
And as a result, I think a lot of these Twitch streamers do have to work very, very long hours. And as a result, they end up not being really having the ability to go and do it out of an office or out of a studio or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to just do it in their bedroom or spare room or whatever. And so it is interesting.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. When you look at a lot of other people,
I think
it's
from the
different.
outside looking in, it's weird too. I think a lot of people assume, you know, at first glance that people on YouTube and Twitch just sit around, play games all day, and they, you know, it's a cool job and they've got it easy and stuff. But surprisingly, actually streaming for hours and hours and hours is pretty draining. Like I don't think it's hard, and I certainly wouldn't complain about having to do it or whatever. But
I think you get used to
streaming
it.
for like 8 hours a day.
I think
is
most of the people take it at a certain
draining.
pace, right? Streaming is expected, I think, to be lower pace and lower lower intensity.
Yeah.
But also it's punctuated by these moments that are almost like it's watching live TV. Anything could happen. You know, that's the exciting thing about it, and because everything is brand new and everything is being seen for the first time, and you can sit there with an audience and watch it for the first time. It's a little bit like the opposite of YouTube, really, in a sense, because YouTube is more like watching a TV,
like watching a live sex show in Amsterdam.
I think that's what Twitch is like. Yeah,
those are awkward.
Anything could
well,
happen.
they're funny if you're really drunk, but if you weren't drunk at one of those, holy crap, they'd be awkward.
God damn! Just literally sitting there super close while two people have sex. Like, what do you clap? Do you cheer?
What you just like, woo, 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 woo.
Like, you know the way in football they'll say like, ole, when they're passing the ball around. Is there any moment where you ole? Do you clap in time with anything?
Let's do a Mexican wave, everybody. You gotta like coordinate it. Yeah, he's jamming her hard.
Yeah, go. Yes, come on.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
there's nothing like sitting in a room full of men
getting boners together,
getting kind of boners in their pants.
It's awkward. It's awkward unless you're into
like
that.
Really.
I mean, if
you have to be pretty drunk, or
I don't know. If you were gay, sitting in a room with a bunch of guys with boners would be fantastic.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
I don't know if you would love that if you were gay.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gay, and if I was sitting in a room with a lot of naked women and a lot of them weren't very attractive, I'd just be like, well, you know what? I don't have a boner, guys. Like, trying my best here, but
give me 5 minutes.
You guys need to up your game if you want me to get a boner. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, I sometimes think like the stuff that we go, ooh, that's awkward, is actually just because. Like, for instance, I don't particularly enjoy standing next to other men at the urinal, right? But some people are probably into
I find it actually hard to
peek.
urinate when that happens.
It's awful.
If somebody gets really, like, all up in my
and they're talking
zone.
to you. There was a guy I used to work with, and the fucking toilets at this office, they put the urinals, like, an inch apart. So you're literally touching shoulders while you're there having a pee. And he was a stare you in the face and talk to you while you're peeing.
Jeez.
Kind of guy.
Was it really kind of constantly staring you in the face very consciously?
Oh, yeah. Maintain eye contact the whole time.
Where you're not going to let your eyes drift at all.
Any drifting eyes?
No.
Like
it's not like he would sort of, when I started talking, I'd notice his head sort of dripping down and having a peek. It was literally, to him, it's just like, chatting away, like, oh, hey, what's up, Ted? Hey, yeah, ooh, how's that new work going? Like that. And I'm just like, Jesus.
But do you reckon in his actual head, it's like, don't look at his dick, don't look at his dick, don't look at his dick?
I don't know.
Do you reckon that's what's going on in his head?
I don't know, but you know what? I know for a fact that guy had a massive dick.
Okay.
Right? It was like it was like one of those things that gets out in the office. I assume, I don't know if one of the girls
that's not
found
appropriate.
out.
I don't know why he's getting it out in the office. But
it's like Jumbo.
Yeah, it's one of those things that gets around in the office. His dick, I mean.
Oh my God.
I tripped over Steve's dick again.
I need to file a health and safety claim. I twisted my ankle. I tripped over Steve's dick again.
Sorry.
He had it out. He had it out. I thought it was a wire from the computer. Nah, it was his dick.
It was his dick. But I think him having a big dick. But him doing that, him looking at you was a way of saying, I'm so comfortable getting my dick out to have a pee next to you because look at the size of this fucking thing. I mean, I should be proud of it. It's like showing off a brand new car every time I unzip my pants.
Yeah. The whole dick measurement thing is a weird one, right? Because like, I guess as a guy personally, okay, just thinking about this like personally, I don't see other guys' dicks pretty much ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't peek at them when I'm, pissing in the urinal or whatever. And like, I'm comfortable with the size of my dick. Like, I never really think like, I wonder if this guy's dick is bigger than mine. Like, I don't really care. But it's a thing, isn't it? People are like really concerned with the size of their dick and having that matter or whatever. Like,
it is apparently a big deal. I think people who have
but how is it a big deal?
Flash.
Because like what are these guys like saying like, oh, my dick is not it's not big enough. I looked at 100 dicks today and they were all bigger than mine. Like how, like where does this come from? I don't know how.
First of all, if you have a great big old dick, I think that would be great. I'd like a foot long.
I feel like mine is like huge though.
Really?
Like I'm really happy with my dick. Like
is it like a giant dick?
It's a huge dick. Yeah.
Wow.
Just
congratulations, dude. Good for you.
Sometimes I find it obstructive. It's so big. Like I'm like, fuck, I can't harness this thing.
Do you measure it in miles or are you in metric in kilometers?
Well, kilometers I think is bigger numbers. So
I guess the question. I guess. Have you ever had any complaints? That's the thing.
Put that giant dick away. That's a frequent complaint.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please put your giant dick away? This is.
Excuse me, sir. We're gonna ask one of you to leave because you're taking up too much space.
It's such a weird thing, isn't it? The whole dick measuring thing. Like I don't know like where it comes from. I guess a lot of people out there maybe have small dicks and they feel like, fuck, my dick is really small and I know it. I don't even need to compare it. Like it's a micro dick. And maybe they just feel like insecure about it and they feel the need to constantly reassure themselves.
A friend of mine went out with a guy very briefly who had a micro penis. And he was a very nice guy. Like, he wouldn't have guessed it. He wasn't like a midget or anything. He was like
it was me.
An average sized person. He looked like a small Lebanese child.
The timing was it was me.
Yeah, it was me. I can't hide.
It was a small Lebanese child. It was an 8-year-old Lebanese child with a micro penis. So hang on. So your friend goes out with the guy at the micro penis,
yeah, she's going out with him. And they're going out a couple of times, and then they go back to her place, and he whips it out. I say whips it out. He reveals what he's working with. Okay. It's like a guy asked to do some DIY, and he brings a toolbox and he opens it up, and there's one of those screwdrivers you get in a Christmas cracker. That's the toolbox he's working with. Okay.
Oh, good lord!
So when you crack open that toolbox and that's the screwdriver you see, you're just going to have to send him home. So she just said, I'm sorry, this isn't going to happen. And he just had to leave. Yeah. She was like, no. She just laughed. She's like,
I was watching, Embarrassing Bodies or whatever, like on Channel 4, they always have, I don't know why these people go on this show.
Yeah.
They're like, I've got a tumor the size of a basketball coming out of my balls. And,
well, make some money out of it while you can,
Yeah. They get on a webcam and they're showing it off and stuff. Seems crazy to me. But anyway, there was a guy on there with a micro penis. It was like really, like shockingly small. Like this guy's penis fully erect was like a quarter of an inch. But him and his girlfriend or partner, or I don't know, I don't think they were married, but they were like, well, we try to have sex, but it just doesn't really work. And like you know what I mean? Like it's so small, like it can't work. Like you can't even.
He needs to find a woman with a micro vagina.
You wouldn't be able to use that to I'm not even going to say pleasure a woman. Like it would just not even. It wouldn't even penetrate the woman's vagina. It's so small.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Oh my God.
It's true, though. Like, it's crazy. I guess it's a real problem. Like, this guy will
it's
just
a real
never
fucking problem. The dude
he will
can't get
never
his...
technically have sex because his dick is not big enough to do it.
I'm thinking she needs an adapter of some kind. Like you'd have for a foreign plug socket. You need something that plugs into the vagina and protrudes a bit, because part of the problem is that when you need to get two groins in that close proximity, there's
what you're
legs, there's buttocks in the way.
I see what you're saying, right? So you're saying like it's almost like plugging the headphone jack into a guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
The jack would need to protrude a little bit.
So that she needs an adapter.
There's no other,
that's like a dildo that on the other end it sticks out a bit and it's got like a hole, like a fleshlight, big enough for a micro penis.
Yeah. Holy shit, you could revolutionize this niche. For
the
people
Indiegogo
who
page
have
is already set up.
You just solved the micro penis problem.
Patented by Flax Corp.
It's like the reverse dildo.
Yeah, but it's like it's electric. It's motorized. So when he's going at the fleshlight with his micro penis, which is the fleshlight bit is specially adapted.
You have to have like those wires with the pads hooked up to her to send
but the dildo's going crazy down there.
The impulses and stuff back to her.
Ever
real vagina, her actual vagina.
So she's like, "Oh, this is the best sex ever," and he's like, "You're right, it actually is." And my micro penis, no more. That's what I'm gonna call it.
It's like the
no more micro.
The little tugboat. I think I can.
It's the penis vagina adapter from Flax Corp, new in 2016.
Only available at JML and trusted retailers.
And Sports Direct.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They put adverts on during the football.
Yeah. Get your sports penis out.
Yeah. Fucking Ray Winstone.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, but it is a legit thing. This guy was fully aware that his penis was really, really small. And that it was a problem. How could you not be?
He's fully aware. Of course he's fully aware.
And I think at that point, you're fully aware. But I'm talking about guys with like maybe just slightly below average penis sizes or whatever. Maybe having like this, I've always thought that I've had a small dick, but maybe it's bigger than I think it is. Maybe if I just looked at other dicks just to get, a rough idea. And then is that where all this comes from? Is that where all this
I think you've got to understand that the average porno is probably over endowed, right? The average male dick on the screen.
They look small to me.
And so therefore everyone, apart from you guys, obviously. I think we do have, I don't know, it's this thing, isn't it? I think
they have to stand like huddled in a corner at the other end of the room just to get it all in shot for me.
I don't think, do you know what, this has been a topic forever, and it's like, do women actually care? Most of the time, and I think 99% of men fall within the average.
Did.
So,
I think there are limits. Obviously, I mean, there are limits. I mean, unless you're working with the classic nubbin that we've been discussing, in which case, please write in to Flax Corp to pre-order.
Please don't.
Please never
pre-order.
Don't even do it. We've got enough on our plates, okay? We've got a Hearts of Iron series to edit up. We've got enough to do, okay?
Oh my God. So this week I've been watching various movies and TV.
Okay.
Kind of catching up. I had a long weekend and I was just sitting around watching stuff and I downloaded a load of
porno.
Sort of first episodes of a lot of series.
Were they animes?
No, like actual American TV. Now, a lot of American TV.
You're an adult now.
I don't know whether I'm either getting old or cynical or miserable or whatever, but I didn't like almost any of it. I watched the Independence Day film, and I watched Ghostbusters.
The
remake.
How bad is it?
And I watched Ghostbusters, the girl one.
How bad is it?
And they are both unbelievably awful.
Yeah.
Now, maybe the original Independence Day was also bad.
It was awful.
Okay.
When I watched it when I was like 11, I liked it.
See, this is the thing. I think if I was 11, I think I would have really enjoyed both the new Ghostbusters movie and the Independence Day movie.
That's the thing. It's relational.
Weirdly, though, I feel like I actually enjoyed things like the animated films, the one with Baymax.
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6. I really enjoyed Big Hero 6.
That was
a
good.
lot more than I've enjoyed some of these AAA Hollywood movies lately. And also TV-wise as well. I mean, I watched a couple of things, like I watched the first episode of Dark Matter and a few other series. And I watched the first episode of Timeless, and I just thought, like, man, if I was 12 or 15 again and watching Stargate Atlantis or stuff like that, I would have been... I enjoyed it at the time, but nowadays, man,
I don't think it's something that's ruined you. I think there's definitely some movies that come out that do better than others. The problem is that you're not 11 anymore, right? So you're not just going to like everything. When you're 11, you don't care what you're watching. It could be anything, and you'll probably like it enough. And some things, obviously, you'll like more. But now that you're like a fully grown adult and you're not like an 11-year-old Lebanese boy anymore, you're fully grown. You've got hair in places you never thought there would be, and the problem is that a lot of movies that come out now, like some of those animated movies are probably the best because they seem to get the perfect sort of mix of kids humor, but adult humor as well. There's lots of stuff in there that works really well. It's a fun little movie. Like I took my son to see The Iron Giant. Remember that movie? It's like a Warner Brothers movie from fucking 93 or something. And it was amazing. It's like it's if you look at the reviews,
it's really emotional.
If you look on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, it's got like 99% or something. It's like it's one of these movies that doesn't feel like it's a classic because it's not like this big name or whatever. But fuck, it is like a classic. It's an amazing movie. And if you're an adult, you can really appreciate it. If you're a kid, you can really appreciate it and like it and stuff. And especially if you're an adult seeing it with your kid for the first time, it's a really great experience. And it's like a perfect example of a movie that's done right for completely different demographics. You know what I mean? Like it has enough in it for kids to love it. It has enough in it for adults to like it. And then coming together, and if you're watching it with your kids, especially, it's like perfect. But a lot of movies don't get that, and a lot of movies don't do that well. And that's like, Ghostbusters, the new one, feels like a movie that could have potentially done that well, but they were just so busy trying to fucking relive the glory days and cash in on the nostalgia and stuff like that maybe they didn't or whatever. Because
100%.
From everybody I've heard, it sounds like it's terrible and not worth watching.
Everyone these days is, I mean, like even like this year, like Kubo and the Two Strings, The Jungle Book, Zootopia. These are like great movies actually, and they're kids movies. But I think I've enjoyed them like way more than a lot of like movies that were supposed to be for adults. Then again, I did watch Westworld, the first episode of that HBO.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about it except I saw Ed Harris dressed up as a cowboy and HBO next to him, and I thought that's probably going to be pretty good. Is it good?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything particularly bad. Lots of tits, lots of shooting people.
Dude, I'm already there.
I mean, like, yeah, that's great, just what I want. I love a bit of. I'm
talking.
Does anyone get
tits.
Shot in the tits?
I don't like that so much. That triggers me a bit, actually.
I want to see tits, and I want to see them resting on the gun arm of someone shooting someone. While the guy is drinking whiskey with the other hand.
There are plenty of titties.
Can we rename it Tit World? I'm just thinking West Tit.
So there's only been one episode out so far. It's good. It's really good. You'll really like it. And the South Park, I've been loving that. And I also watched Last Week Tonight with John Oliver,
that's
which
a great
is actually
show.
Fucking an incredibly good show.
I think the depressing thing about that show for me is that a lot of the stuff they say seems to be eminently sensible and logical, and then you just know that they're shouting into the void and nobody's listening. It doesn't matter.
It's sort of taken over from Jon Stewart a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
in that kind
it's
of
more. I think
vein.
it's more specific. Like they've obviously said that the stuff Jon Stewart did was great, but they're going into far more detail, and it's just him breaking it down and doing interviews. And there's less of the. I mean, it almost felt like the Jon Stewart show was almost a vehicle for a lot of other comedians and performers to come through, whereas this is just John Oliver grabbing a topic and doing an essay on it. That's essentially what it is, and I like that a lot. Yeah. But I do nobody's fucking listening. Like this, his show isn't going to change anything. That's the tragic part of it, I think.
Yeah,
but I love it.
I do too. So yeah, we're a huge fan. So yeah, check those out if you want. I've also been trying to finish off Deus Ex, which has been quite slow. I played it in a really odd way. I sort of realised I was right at the end of it, and I hadn't actually tried out any of the skills at all because I assumed I'd get more points than I actually ended up getting in the game. And so when I started the game, I was like, oh, okay, I better get being able to see where the enemies are. I better get a bit of hacking. I better get this thing and this thing. And then I realized that I'd kind of not put any points in any of the fun new abilities like the nano blade or anything. So I feel like I've accidentally finished the game without playing in the game.
I mean, that can happen from time to time, especially
I kind of ended up accidentally ghosting my way through all the missions too, which made the game take a lot longer. But I feel like in Deus Ex, it's a good game because a lot of the time the missions, the people that you're killing are not bad guys, right? It's like, okay, we have to go and capture this guy, and he's defended by some guys who are just they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, so you shouldn't really kill them all. And that happens again and again. And so I never really have this desire to just massacre my way through. So I've pretty much only killed like 1 or 2 people in the whole playthrough by just not wanting to be killing people that I don't consider to be bad. I didn't want to go, I don't know, it made me feel like I didn't want to go on some sort of murderous rampage. Sometimes I don't mind going on a bit of a murderous rampage in games, but in Deus Ex I haven't really wanted to, and as a result it's made it more fun and challenging. And I don't know, I actually got a kick out of it. I think people didn't like the new Deus Ex game particularly.
I don't know. I'm just not interested in Deus Ex at all. So I know that like people still like talk about the original being like a masterpiece and stuff, and I've never played it. I just never got into it. I just never.
We never got around to it. No, but it's one of these games that's quite a classic. I think we suffer from this a little bit.
By the time I got round to playing it, it was a good few years after it had come out. And it had been surpassed, like in terms of, the way it looked was so god awful at that point.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the original sort of Half-Life era kind of.
Like, have you tried to play Half-Life 1 again? Have you ever tried that?
Well, they've remastered it so many times now that actually it's not terrible. People have such a love and a community around that game, whereas Deus Ex doesn't have that. Half-Life ended up getting basically rebuilt from the ground up in Source Engine and all sorts of other stuff.
There hasn't been like a single player like shooter experience like for such a long time that's
Doom is meant to be very good.
No, it's okay. Like I've almost finished it. It's okay. Oh, okay. Like it's not. It doesn't have any of the moments the Half-Life 2 had. Like there were some great moments in that where you're just like in a town or on the beach on your little dune buggy and stuff. And the idea that the enemies are out there, you'll suddenly see the ship coming in. You've been rumbled. And it's like that you felt like you were part of a resistance movement. I thought it was.
Oh, Wolfenstein though is very good.
But again, it's very straightforward. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a great game, a great shooter. But it's like an Arnie movie, whereas I feel like Half-Life 2 felt more like some kind of independent action movie, which is maybe a bit more thoughtful.
So they're talking about making a Portal movie.
Yeah.
Did you hear this?
I did see that.
That'll be cool because they need to use that Portal franchise more. I think it's such a cool universe. If they're not going to do another game or any other stuff with it, I think a movie is a really awesome thing. Yeah. It almost writes itself.
They could, I mean, GLaDOS could be the only voice in the whole movie and it would be perfectly watchable.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Like, it would be fine.
It seems hard to fuck that up when the Portal universe is so cool.
Yeah. It is very cool, but again, I think they could easily fuck it up as well. Like I think they'd have to be very careful and get it right and take their time with it, and not just rush something out, sort of thing. But again, like when did Portal 2? Fucking that reminds me, Portal 2 was amazing, wasn't it? It was so good. It was such a good game. Like I remember just loving every minute of it. It was fantastic. I didn't play the multiplayer much. I just loved the single player story.
I didn't even know it had multiplayer.
The multiplayer wasn't, it was just a bunch of fun co-op missions. But the story was where it was with Cave Johnson.
The level design and everything, and just everything about it was so good. And the puzzles were good, and it really felt like a little world was created. And that's what I'm saying. Like Wolfenstein was fun. And Doom was fun, but I don't feel the same connection to it as almost an adventure with a shooting game like around it. I feel that with Doom and with Wolfenstein, it's just a shooting game, and I'm just progressing from level to level, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun, but it didn't stay with me the way Half-Life 2 did.
No, I think Call 2.
I think Dishonored is pretty good. It's not quite a shooting game, but it's got story. It's interesting. It's good. The way that you play changes the story as well. So like if you kill more people or you get found more often and stuff. Dishonored.
Oh yeah.
People are very excited for Dishonored 2 actually. They were showing it at EGX and a lot of people I spoke to
can't wait for Dishonored 2. Like I think it'll be pretty good. Like I'm looking forward to it. The first one is excellent. It's really good.
I think just going back to Portal 2, I think some of what made it special was that it felt like the voice acting was just amazing. You know, having J.K. Simmons do Cave Johnson for me was like one of the biggest parts, and also having Stephen Merchant do the
doing the Wally guy.
Yeah, whatever his name was, Willie. I can't
Willie or whatever. Yeah,
but it was
Cave Johnson. That's so good.
Was it Wheatley?
Wheatley.
Yeah, it was Wheatley.
It was just such I don't know. There were so many really good bits about it. It just sticks in your mind as this pinnacle of like of putting a lot of effort in and a lot of love and attention, and just ending up with something that was very, very cool.
Yeah,
felt like a lot of people, a lot of passion had gone into making this game, and it came out just. Sometimes it comes out like such a nice thing. Everything just must have aligned at Valve, you know, at the time when they were, you know, on a high of making games, and they had this cool universe, and they all just worked together.
Yeah, because it must have taken them years to actually make the game. Like, I remember when it came out, and there wasn't really much else coming out around that time, specifically those couple of weeks where it came out. And it wasn't the longest game, but I remember it had my full attention. I played it from start to finish, and I didn't feel like there was something else that was, you know, eating into my time playing it or anything. So I guess it just goes to show that it is important, like when you release a game and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Steam nowadays, there's just shit coming out every day. But
oh my god, have you gone to the new releases? Like all new releases, you click that, it is just a list of shit, absolute shit. It's awful. My god, I just can't believe it. So many games that are just never gonna be anything.
Yeah.
They're never. Who cares about 99% of these fucking games? It's god awful.
So I'm looking at popular new releases right now. There's at the very top. There's the fall 2016 Battle Pass for Dota 2.
Yeah, that'll be a definite purchase. To be fair.
Okay. And then under that we've got Butcher. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that looks shit. I looked at the trailer. It's god awful.
Campaign Clicker, which is a free-to-play indie casual clicker game. Those seem to be popular. Rocket League DLC, Triton, which looks like an underwater car. I don't know. Mortal Kombat X Combat Pack 2 DLC. Viking Squad, an action indie adventure beat-em-up game, which is currently 10% off. So you can buy that for £9.89. Never heard of it. Rocksmith 2014 edition remastered.
God. Well, hang on, I'm going to bust out that guitar.
We've got Aragami, which is an indie action adventure stealth game.
Wow.
I've never heard of that one either. Atlas Reactor, I've heard people talking about this, but I don't know what it is.
That's meant to be good, actually.
Okay, well, that's free to play as well, and it's on the popular new releases list.
But the weird thing is...
Is it like Pokemon?
No, it's like a competitive version. No, it's like a competitive version of...
it's an arena game, right?
Yeah, but it's turn-based. Now, they're saying that it's XCOM meets Dota, which is not true. And I'm not just saying that as a Dota fan. I'm looking at it. It's not anything like Dota, like at all. So, I mean, it looks okay, I guess, but I don't understand why companies still do this thing where they launch a game and they say, welcome to the brand new competitive arena game. And I'm like, stop doing that. Just bring out a fucking game. Don't pitch it, because the moment people see it pitched as it's a new competitive... they're trying to get into a market that's so hard.
Because there's so much flooding, though, already. Like, the order for a game to rise above this dross, this sea of messages in bottles, in order for one to get noticed, you have to call your game XCOM meets Dota.
No, you don't.
Because it needs that snappy soundbite, or else Sips is just going to go down to the next one in the list and say, okay,
but that's
all right,
different.
crap, next.
Yeah, already
meets
I've moved
Dota.
along, and I'm at Wargame Red Dragon Nation Pack Israel.
It is difficult.
But the way you said it made it sound like a Tolkien baddie. Israel and his army rising in the north. Israel, you will turn back the time.
Steam's always really interesting, though, right? So if you go into the top sellers, top seller right now is Mafia 3, which isn't even out yet, but is hyped up and everybody wants to play it.
The other two were god awful.
It's probably going to be... No, I like them a lot, actually. I'm looking forward to Mafia 3.
Well, you're a huge Mafia fan, though. Bear that in mind.
I love
Is it
the
multiplayer?
I know. I don't know. The other Mafias weren't, so I'm not sure if this one will be or not. I'm not sure. I think it's more story-driven, sort of GTA style.
See, I've never played them.
All right.
It's amazing.
They're quite good, actually. I like them.
Are.
Civ 6 is on there as well. It's not even out yet.
Do we want to talk about that? Civ 6? I've been playing it, and I've got some.
We tried to talk about it last week, but we got distracted by everything.
Some concerns.
You have concerns?
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the primary concern I've got at the moment from a single player perspective, which is going to be 99% of how the game is played, the AI feels like the same fucking code from 3, 4, 5, and now 6. I do not feel like games are addressing the colossal problem that there is with AI. And I honestly think the biggest issue that it has is nobody is writing an AI that takes a guess at what might happen. It comes up with a plan. It doesn't use any of the information that it might be able to surmise from things you've done in the past or previous games. Or like, why isn't it taking all the Civ games that are out there and collecting that information anonymously and allowing some central brain to think of ways to win at Civ? How about that? Why not have a fucking computer sat somewhere that just absorbs some simple match data from games that have been played and improves the AI? So in the early days, it ain't going to be great. As we go on, it'll get better. Because at the moment, all I see is the same shit. I've played 4 games of Civ 6 now, and the AI is so predictable. And the conversations it has with you, the things it does are super predictable. It cannot fight a war to save its life. It cannot build units when it needs to. It is too fucking predictable. It needs to change, and somebody needs to change it. And by God, it could be me.
Wow. Okay.
Listen, P-Flex, I think partly the problem you might have is that you have now been involved in some pretty hardcore intensive training on how to get better at Civ.
This is about you, isn't it? This is about you. You think you've Yodaed me. You're not Yoda.
Before you joined our multiplayer game sessions, you were a fresh-faced young noob, and you enjoyed Civ. You weren't challenged. You were just going in there, enjoying it, and the AI was challenge enough for you, right? But now you've tasted real challenge and real competitive Civ, and you need that. You've tasted that crack, that hardcore heroin.
Maybe
you can't do without it. You can't go in there and just walk over someone. You need them to fight back. You need them to challenge you. And I think that, unfortunately, Civ AI is never going to be that and was never that.
But why?
I agree, though. We got to understand that we are playing an alpha build and it's only got Prince difficulty. I think
True.
The problem,
but you know what those difficulties are going to do. They're going to give them more food. They're going to give them more culture, more science. But the brain is the same. It's like taking an idiot and putting him in charge of the world. It ain't going to be well run. He's just going to have a load of shit.
That's what multiplayer's for, though. You don't play. Unfortunately, AIs are always bad in games. We talked about this a little bit before, and there's nothing you can do. I don't think that's my concern.
There is a lot you can do. That's what I'm saying. Machines need time to learn. You cannot code every situation in. But if enough situations occur, the computer can make a decision based on what has happened in previous games. That has to be coded in. That's the only way to solve the AI conundrum, is that you have to get it to learn simply, but it must learn. Otherwise, it becomes predictable.
I think the problem we're going to have in Civ is going to be a very different one. I think it's going to be that there seems to be no limit to how many cities you can settle and no penalty for settling bad
I love
ones.
That.
Okay, so you could just slap a crappy city up in the Arctic Circle. You can slap a crappy city down in like a desert. You can slap them all over the fucking place and no one gives a shit. And you can just spread with 10, 20, 30 cities across the world with no penalty.
Fantastic.
Which in a multiplayer game is going to be very tricky to manage, especially when there's no queue. There's no production queue.
Production queue. What's up with that?
Queue up production. Every turn you have to do 50 more buildings. And me and Duncan have been really struggling with it because, you start the game, you find yourself, you've got a little bit of land, you throw some cities down, and suddenly you've got 6 or 7 cities that you're trying to manage, and it's complicated. And those cities are also very, very weak, and you really have to, if you're going to get attacked and you have a lot of cities, those cities are just going to go down and get razed to the ground in seconds or change hands in no time. And then your attackers suddenly got all these cities that have changed hands. I think it's going to be, I'm really actually quite excited about the different dynamics of playing these Civ games.
I think multiplayer is going to be great. I really do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still stoked about Civ. I think it's definitely a different game, a very different game.
Yeah.
It's moved towards more of a game than a simulator. I think Civ 5 became a good game with all of the mods, with all the packs, with all the changes, with no quitters mod. I think it became a real competitive, exciting challenge, and we understood the meta of that. which basically was that don't have more than 5 cities until the mid game, and then really after that you only need about 6 or 7 to win, and you don't want any more. You don't want bad ones. You want good ones. If you capture a city, loathe BTU, but now you can raise a city-state to the ground. You can fucking raise anything you want to the ground.
I like it. It's good for fight. It's the fighting version of Civ I've been waiting for, god damn it. Did you say I like raisins?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I love them.
I love raisins.
So what about you, Sitz? What have you been playing this week? What have you been doing?
I have been playing this week a mix of Hearthstone. I've been playing a bit. I started playing when the new season started on the 1st of October, and I enjoyed my time laddering with the Secret Hunter deck. I enjoyed that a lot. And then I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, which I just randomly picked up because do you know what? I haven't played WoW since last Thursday. Okay, it's been a week. I went over to Bristol for 2 days. I got back. I didn't play, and I haven't played since. So I managed to somehow go away for 2 days and get out of the habit of playing WoW, and I haven't gone back because I don't know why. It's one of those things, right? You just do that sometimes with games.
Yeah.
Before I went over to Bristol, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get back and play more WoW and stuff. And then I got back and I was just like, nah, I don't really feel like playing WoW. So I was like, I had like half an hour before I had to go do something else, and I just wanted to play something quickly. And so I was like, fuck, I'll just install Overwatch and do a quick game. And then I've just been playing it like a lot ever since.
You did the placement matches, didn't you? And
yeah, I did placement matches, and that was pretty fun. And then I've been streaming it a lot, like this week as well, which has been pretty fun. Just playing with like people in the stream and losing a lot. We've lost a lot of games. But it's been pretty good. I've been playing heroes that I don't always play.
Did you place too high then? Is that what you're saying? Did you place a bit too high?
But I mean, where I placed in gold is not like anything to write home about. But yeah, we can't win. Occasionally we get placed, we get match made against people who are much better than us and who have been playing a lot more as well. Like you can kind of get an idea of how many hours somebody has spent by like their rank, I guess, sort of thing. So like I'm like rank 56, for example, and I've played for like 35 hours, thereabouts. But so like I did my placement matches with Shin. Shin's like almost rank 100. So I guess he's played double the time that I have. Okay. Possibly, maybe a bit more. And we were getting match made against guys who were like level 300 and stuff in some cases, which is it's insane. Like they have just a lot more experience with the game, and they've probably mastered at least a hero or whatever. And we just got shit on. It was crazy. But
it's like playing CS:GO though. Sometimes that just happens.
I think it just happens sometimes, and it's okay. It's pretty fun. Like I don't know if I love it, but I'm enjoying playing it for now anyway.
I know that feeling, right, of playing a game like Dota and like Overwatch, or like CS:GO, where you've got equal teams and it means you lose half your games.
Yeah, it's just the way that the game is designed. You will just lose half your games.
I think the thing with a lot of games nowadays is they drip feed you progress, right? They want to give you a little tiny little nugget of, I got a gem, or I got some points so I can get my new cape. It's like that's it. The actual experience has become very grindy because they've realized that people are very habitual. Yeah. And it reminds me, we spoke about it before, I'm sure, the episode of Next Gen where they get the thing that they put on and they have to guide a disc into a trumpet, and it's sort of a virtual reality game that they play, and it gives them a little shot of endorphins or whatever. It's like that. People just like a little drip feed of progress.
Yeah.
I play games which are punishingly hard, and where you can lose and lose and lose, but you still keep coming back. I am a masochist in games. I don't know why.
Yeah, I get that too. Like, I think sometimes, like, when you do have a win, if you're going to have a lose streak, you can also have a win streak, and that's very, very satisfying. I think that having the highs and the lows are rewarding. It makes the highs higher when you know that how bad the lows are sometimes. When you come away from Hearthstone thinking, fuck, that was shit. I think you get over it pretty much. It doesn't like depress me for the whole day or whatever. But also people do like that. They like the raiding. They like having to grind against trying to complete something that's difficult. And then, because Simon was saying to me yesterday that he has been playing WoW and he's been what he calls grinding Pearson rep. So Pearson's this guy who has this raid group, and he's a guy who used to raid with us for a long time. Yeah. And Simon's been joining all of his crappy raids, like the heroic. So they did heroic Emerald Nightmare, which is the new raid in WoW. They spent 3.5 hours in there. They wiped the whole time. They didn't kill a single boss, but it guarantees that Simon's in Pearson's raid.
Yeah,
for the normal run or whatever, So Simon's going to get to go on that, and he quite enjoyed it, even though he actually just spent the whole time wiping. It's a funny thing. I don't think I'd enjoy it.
No, it's weird.
It's like you just said to me earlier.
You seem like the type of person, and Simon seemed like the type of person who could enjoy it, because the thing is with this, it's very time consuming, and when you set up a raid, you have to do it at a specific time on a specific date. And if you have kids and a family and shit, you're not going to be doing that. It's impossible. You just cannot make the raids. You can't be reliable. You're not always going to feel like doing it. If you literally have nothing else to do, hell yeah, I'd be all over it. If I spent all day waiting for a raid to happen, like 9 hours from now, where I literally do nothing leading up to it, fuck yeah, sign me up for a raid. I'll do it for sure. But it's impossible. You have to have a lifestyle that fits with raiding and doing that type of gaming. You know what I mean?
Do you know one thing about WoW that I never quite liked was that when you're doing those kind of raids and all that kind of stuff, there's a moment when you're about to wipe. And it's like the difference between it's going okay to we've lost this fight is seemed to me to be extremely quick. And it took one little lapse or one mistake, and that was it. No, we can't pull this back. It's no, we've lost 2 guys, and that's it. We're down.
Wipe it and try again.
Right.
Sort of thing.
I mean, if I play CS:GO a lot, and you can be down a lot of rounds in CS:GO, and there's because the enemy team ends up with less money if they lose a couple in a row, you can make a comeback. And I like that. The comeback is what I like in a game. The fact that you can be down and then come back. I always felt in WoW,
Dota and CS:GO you could do that pretty well.
They do.
They do. And that makes the games exciting.
Exactly.
You think, or even though you're down 10-2 or whatever, you still think, holy shit, you could see it. You could think in your head, holy shit, we could come back from this. In a football game, if you were down 10-2, no fucking way. It's basically over. I'm going to sit through the rest of the half an hour or whatever, and fucking who cares? In misery.
Yeah.
But I really like that. I think that's one of the key elements in why these games are so kind of
the comeback,
good and popular.
Yeah. I mean, especially if in football, there have been teams that have been down 4 goals with 15-20 minutes to go, and they do it. I mean, the European Cup final, Liverpool AC Milan, Liverpool down 3-0 at halftime, and
that was a real classic.
It was incredible.
That was a rare moment.
Yeah, no, it was, but that's what makes it that it's possible. I love that. The comeback in any sport or any game, coming back from a losing position to win is always the best feeling. I feel like a lot of those grindy games kind of lack that.
I think
because they're quick. It's much quicker. If you think about Hearthstone, it's really rare that you have no board control. You're down to 4 health, and the dude doesn't take any damage. What can you really do?
Hearthstone is a perfect example of a game where when you get too far behind, you're done. That's it. You're not going to come back. Even with big swing cards, oftentimes there's just nothing you can do. If you've wasted a lot of resources and you haven't been efficient and stuff, you're too far behind. You won't win the game.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But CSGO, I think Heroes of the Storm, which I don't think you've played any of, Flax. Lewis, you've played a bit of. But Heroes of the Storm is a bit lenient with comebacks as well. You can get a good team fight, you can wipe the other team, and you can come back and win. Even if you're really far behind, it does happen.
Right.
And it's when it does happen, and it happens more often than you think it would, it feels fucking great. You manage to just coordinate perfectly. You kill a couple of their key players. You pick off the stragglers, and then you can easily just push a couple of objectives and win the game. And you could be pretty far behind at that point and still do it, sort of thing.
I'm not unhappy that that there's shitloads of stuff on Steam, but I feel it's the same thing as the TV thing. I watched 20 different first episodes of series, and I hated 18 of them. I could check out 20 new games on Steam, and I'll probably hate 18 of them. But do you know what? I'm not actually hating that experience of checking something new out, trying it out, seeing if it's good or bad. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean that it was necessarily a waste of time. And then again, I do want my time back from Ghostbusters. That was a fucking garbage movie.
I just I don't there's a couple of series and stuff that I want to watch. Like, and that I will watch, but because we're going away in like 3 weeks and we're going to have
You've been saving stuff up.
Long
and that's
flights
a really
and
good
stuff.
idea.
Yeah, I'm just saving shit up that I know I'm going to watch. Like the most recent series of Game of Thrones, I haven't watched it yet. I've got it saved up. I'm going to watch it on the plane.
Enjoy.
Luke Cage, I want to watch that as well. Like on Netflix, it's like just come out. This is like the spin-off from Jessica Jones or whatever, the guy.
Yeah.
In Jessica Jones. That looks pretty cool. Like I'll watch. I like Jessica Jones, so I'll watch that. So like I've got a couple of like series that I know I want to watch that I'll just save up and watch when I can watch them. But like I could never do that. Like I would never just start watching something and spend like, it has to be like a sure thing for me. Like I have to like have it recommended by people and stuff. Like I can't just try something and watch 2 episodes and then not watch it because like I'd feel so sort of like cheated out of my time sort of thing. Like I don't want to commit to like anything that's just going to be bad,
Sorry, this podcast has been entirely about media and just the movies and games that we're playing at the moment. I feel like that's all I'd be doing this week. I need to get out and do more.
I think we've had it's been an interesting conversation for me. I've enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah,
the podcast last week was really just kind of us shooting the shit about stuff, and sometimes that will be what you get on this podcast.
Well,
sometimes you won't
this
get
has been all about media, but we did have a lengthy conversation about penis sizes.
Yeah, there was 20 minutes at the start about dicks, and we solved the micro penis.
We solved the micro
it.
penis conundrum as
also,
well. Also,
wait, we haven't. There is something. Hang on a sec.
Oh,
Bodega Part Quattro. We have Bodega Part Quattro. If you want, we don't have to do it this week. It's up to you guys.
No, this is the best part for me.
I wait for this. Yeah.
All right. It's not as long as last time, so it shouldn't take as long. But it's
okay. I'm trying to like get better at listening to audiobooks.
I'll slow down. I'll read it more slowly. Okay.
Hold up. Hey, hang on. Let me get myself. I just got to adjust like my settings.
That's all right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
No. Don't feel the pressure to rush through it, Peter.
Okay. Put my legs up on the table.
The art of...
I just don't want to take up too much time. That's all.
No,
listen, not at all.
We have all day.
Okay. We have all day.
And the art of acting is to,
enunciate. Right. Are you ready?
Be careful.
Okay. Enunciate this time. Okay.
I will.
Okay. Good.
Bodega.
Can we have Ray Winston?
No, my voice won't take it.
Okay.
Bodega Part Quattro. No, we'll do it normally.
Oh, come on.
Bodega Part Quattro. Clouds of exhaust fumes, the stench of synth oil mixed with coolant, and the musky funk of 1,000 space dock engineers. Bodega choked back the aroma of the Barakian Quanto hub from high up on a gantry. His Gretham shuttle was parked on the roof. Its chameleon stealth field and some fancy flying had made it past the security screens. He rested one hand on his lasgun and the other on his groin, which was itching like hell. Damn Spalupian crotch crabs. 100 meters below.
Not the Spalupians.
Oh, they're the worst. The busy spaceport on the surface of Quanto 4 looked safe enough. Bodega had been scanning the crowds for an hour now, making sure there wasn't an ambush. That business with the smugglers had drawn some weird heat. Fedpol had been all over him like a case of crotch crabs. He wondered just how high up the remote-controlled vehicle smuggling ring went, but that wasn't his business. What was his business was the stench coming from the toilets on his ship. In orbit, cloaked naturally, its legendary ship, the Disco Volante, waited and, frankly, it reeked. He was pretty sure whatever was causing the noxious stank might even be leaking into space. However badly it ponged, it was still his ship, and at the push of a button on his wrist comp, it would decloak and rocket down to Bodega's position. At the push of another button, the ship would self-destruct, taking anything within 100 clicks with it. Bodega had to make sure he pushed the right button. He didn't know why he'd put the 2 buttons next to each other, but these things happen. What are you going to do?
Were they like a different color or anything?
With the spaceport surveillance complete,
okay.
Bodega gave his crotch one more good scratch before he jetpacked down to the main floor. Since he wore no cape, the jetpack worked properly. If he'd been wearing a cape, Scrum knows what would have happened. Once down, he collared a Fedorian engineer and demanded a landing berth for his ship. He called the Disco Volante down from orbit by focusing hard and pressing the correct button. The Fedorians were a squat, ugly collection of what Bodega referred to as nerds. They knew everything there was to know about the inner workings of spaceships and computers and nerd shit like that. Loathsome as they were, Bodega had no choice. He'd studied grown-up things like how to tear a man's throat out and how to field strip a Vitarian squirm beam battle pack. so not useful when it came to fixing a busted mega toilet. The crapper needs some work. Got a stink coming off it, worse than, Bodega began to explain before the Fedorian interrupted. Its nasal voice cut through Bodega like a lasgun through a pack of nerds. Before we even get to the toilets, I really have to question your decision to have only one access door to this vessel. You really should have 3. To not even have 2 is pretty terrible. This thing is already a death trap, and the controls are on the wrong side of the door. They should be on the right, and your gangplank is off angle by about 3 degrees. Bodega grimaced. Fucking nerds, he thought. They entered the ship. I don't smell anything wrong here, said the Fedorian. It stinks. The toilet. It's broken. Trust me, said Bodega. It really doesn't. It really doesn't, but okay, said the Fedorian, and he made for the toilets. As he entered the main deck of the Disco Volante, he recoiled in horror, pawing at the vid panels and peering into access shafts. Smell it now? Asked Bodega, grinning. No, it's your setup. My God, you have so many things wrong here. Why is your stealth field not firmware upgraded? Look at this wiring. It's like you don't even care. I have no idea why you would get a ship this expensive if you don't even know how to rig the squig indexer correctly. You must be losing like 1.5% more fuel every time you deorbit. The Fedorian was actually sniggering. He was standing there aboard the legendary Disco Volante and laughing at it. At Bodega. Bodega's face hardened. Are you shitting on my ship? He asked, giving the Fedorian one last chance to climb down from the precipice of a really bad time. The ship is a good one, but it's the owner. My groggle, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing here, do you? This thing is suboptimal. It actually makes me want to put my head in my hands and maybe make a big post about it in the Fedorian engineering forums. The engineer prattled on, not noticing Bodega unholstering his famous las gun and aiming it squarely at the Fedorian's head. Pard, you just cost your planet a spaceport, said Bodega. As the Disco Volante sped into orbit, the Gretham following on autopilot behind, the explosions from the Barakian Quanto hub could be seen for miles around. Lasgun scorching, torpedo blasts, and even some dents from a fist would be found by investigators in the weeks to come. Bodega found the vault with the toilet anyway. He'd been drunk on bum pincher ale and had just forgotten to flush away a particularly unpleasant crap from the previous night. As his ship entered orbit, he flushed. The ship ejected the toxic poop, which tumbled back down to the planet's surface with a hearty plop. A final reminder for the people of this world, don't fuck with Bodega.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
I like the crap at the end.
Wow.
Man, that was a good one.
Okay. Do you want my storytelling adjunct
Go
to
for
the
it.
end?
Go for it.
I think what you needed to do was grab the whatever is the flav by the scruff of his neck. The nerd, sorry, by the scruff of his neck. And get his head down there. Fucking get it in the toilet.
What did you say to Sips? What did you say to Sips last week?
What did I say to Sips?
He tried to correct me and say what you should have done, and you said you can't tell Pyrian what to do. He's an artist.
Oh shit! Yeah, you can't tell. I'm sorry, P.
You're
Flax.
going to jinx it now. Now he's going to be second guessing himself, and it's not going to be as good.
Come on, it was like it was set up. Maybe that's the point, though. Maybe that's what. Maybe you didn't do what we were predicted.
You could have given him like a Spaloopium nuclear wedgie as well.
Guys, what's unwritten is as important as what is written. All we know is he fucked shit up. He could have done all those things.
He fucked shit up. Yeah, he did this time.
He did do all those things. And that's the beautiful thing. Because you didn't cover it, we can, in our heads, fill in the gap.
I'm not telling you how to do anything, though, Pyrian. I'm not recommending anything to you or whatever. Fine. But I'm looking for a couple of extra dimensions in Bodega. I want like a bit of character development. Because so far...
Can you give more characters wedgies?
He seems to turn up, and he seems to fuck shit up, and then he just seems to put on his sunglasses and leave.
With shit exploding behind him.
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
No, I don't at all. But maybe one day... I'm hoping.
You want to know more about the man behind the myth, is what you're saying.
And I want to realize at some point that, you know what, this guy isn't perfect. Sometimes
he just killed a guy for insulting his ship.
Yeah, I guess he did forget. I guess he did forget to flush the toilet.
Yeah, and his ship isn't even very well designed and laid out. And as the engineer pointed out, there's a lot wrong with it. So Bodega is not a superhuman in all aspects. He's just a killer.
Honestly, I can sympathize. That nerd was posting on all those fucking forums, just whining about. Can you imagine? I would be super mad.
You know?
I mean, I don't know where the inspiration for this one came from, but it felt very natural to writing it.
It seemed like out of nowhere for me as well.
Yeah.
I think it's very cathartic to just think about all those people who say things on internet forums and just, just blow up their shit and just, stick them out the airlock with a load of
give them a wedgie
particularly bad shit.
Flush their head down the toilet.
But I will take on board the idea that perhaps we need to know a bit more about Bodega.
Maybe Lewis can do Bodega origins.
There are like a dozen Bodega origin stories out there.
Before Bodega even makes it into space,
I would love to see Lewis.
He grew up on a farm on Quadvar 5 in the Starlupian galaxy.
I would love to see Lewis write next week's Bodega. Nothing would give me more pleasure. I don't know if he's up for it.
I can't make any promises. I have so much to do, but if I find myself with half an hour, I'll slap some of my thoughts onto paper.
I'll write a fifth Bodega part.
I'll have to check it. I'll have to check it with you first because I don't want to break the canon. You guys, you've worked hard on establishing Bodega, the rules of the Bodega universe.
He just kills stuff. So if that doesn't happen in yours, Lewis, you've done something wrong.
The cannon is mounted on the ship and it shoots stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just come up with good names for shit. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's where this series really excels, the naming of things.
The Flavs, Falupians.
The Falupians.
They are my favorite.
Oh man.
So, yeah. Holy shit. Well, that was the Triforce podcast for this week. It was a different one.
No, it wasn't actually at all different, Lewis. I think
this
you're
was
just
classic,
looking into it. This
honestly.
is pretty much how it goes every week.
Yeah.
We talk about dicks for a while or shit or something like that. And then we move on and we talk about other stuff that we may or may not know anything about. And then
video games.
End with a Bodega.
And then Bodega, yeah.
It's falling into a nice formula.
It's nice.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy it. This is my favorite thing to do every week, bar none. I really enjoy doing this podcast.
Yeah, it's great.
I hope you guys feel the same.
I love it too, man. It's my favorite.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we'll be back next week.
We'll be back next time. Hopefully, you're not eating right now, or we're not eating at the start when we were talking about micro penises, because that's not enough for a full meal.
Or if you were eating a giant hot dog or something like that, just to give you some perspective.
If you were just eating a raw cucumber, a really huge cucumber, while that conversation was taking place, good for you.
Well done.
You've done it.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Bye.
Anyway.
Bye.
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 Bye.